Now for our final story on the docket, we got to talk about James Harden. James Harden was recently on the Earn Your Leisure podcast, and he asked him about his time on the Oklahoma City Thunder and him eventually leaving to go to the Houston Rockets. Now in this interview, he actually revealed that the breakup was caused over $4 million. And when you look back at the NBA salaries today, $4 million is essentially a drop in the hat. You kind of think about what it would have been if James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and KD all stayed together on the OKC team. What would have happened? He talks about it a little bit here in this clip.
KC, when they have you, Kevin,
Russ,
Serge, and Russ, young guys, if we stay together, this league is ours.
It was only for like $4 million too.
This is what I'm saying. I understand
they
that.
Broke it up for $4 million.
It was only $4 million.
You wanted something, and they gave it to Serge.
Exactly.
Which obviously it didn't play out well.
$4 million.
But if we stay together,
how good could that team have been?
You take over the league.
My rookie year, it was the 8th seed. We played the Lakers. That was the number 1 seed.
Scared them
for sure.
Scared them.
We had OKC cracking. They won the championship, Lakers.
Yep.
My second year, we went in Western Conference Finals against Dallas.
They won the championship.
My third year, we in the finals against the Heat. That was Brian's first championship. They won the championship. That summer, we go to the Olympics. We win the gold medal. My fourth year is on. Summertime traded. A couple days before the first game.
So how good do you think that team, in the history of hypothetically, y'all would have stayed together?
2 chips at least, at the minimum.
At least 2 chips.
Over $4 million.
You think you would have?
Now James Harden thinks that the Oklahoma City Thunder would have won at least 2 chips if they kept them all together. But to be honest, I gotta disagree, man. I don't know if this would have happened at all. I mean, if you had James Harden turn into the player that he was, or eventually turned into, he eventually would have had to come off the bench. He wouldn't have been a 6th man anymore. And this probably would have had issues boil up between Russell Westbrook, KD, and James Harden, between who's going to be the number 2 after KD. So eventually somebody would have to leave. But I would say if they did keep that core for time, then it would have been interesting to see the battles between OKC and Golden State. This could have been one of the most intense and one of the most watched rivalries in NBA history and Western Conference history if they would have kept this unit together. And we'd have to ask the question, would the Golden State Warriors be as dominant as they are if they had to face OKC in the Western Conference Finals potentially every single year? Maybe the Golden State Warriors don't eventually get to as many finals as they do if the OKC is right there with them battling for supremacy in the Western Conference. But I know one thing is for damn sure, is that if Harden stays, I don't think Kevin Durant ends up going to the Golden State Warriors. I think a large part of why Kevin Durant ended up leaving is just because he was just straight up frustrated playing with Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, man, he would make some boneheaded, low IQ plays, and there's plenty of plays where Kevin Durant was calling for the ball where he's wide open, and Russell Westbrook would just not give him that rock, man. So I think over time, he just built up resentment, and eventually he had to leave. Now, I still think it's a bitch move going to the Golden State Warriors the way he did, but I don't think it happens if Harden becomes a number 2 instead of Russell Westbrook. I think maybe Russell Westbrook would eventually got traded. And if things didn't work out with James Harden and with Kevin Durant, maybe eventually they both get traded somewhere else, but I don't think they leave for Golden State Warriors. I don't think Harden leaves for Golden State Warriors. I don't think Kevin Durant eventually leaves for Golden State Warriors. But again, that's just my opinion. I don't think they would have won 2 chips. I think maybe they probably would have been able to sneak 1 in there just based off talent purely alone. They also had Serge Ibaka on that team as well too. Serge Ibaka was a beast on the boards. So I think they probably could have snuck 1 title in there, but I don't think they would have won 2. I'll be honest, I don't think so. I think eventually their egos would have clashed, and eventually somebody would want to take that number 1 spot, and you can't have 3 people gunning for that number 1 spot. Eventually they would have all had to leave or go somewhere else. Anyway, that's everything we have on the docket today. If you listened all the way through, I really appreciate you for rocking with me. This is Keep It Basketball, and we'll be back again next week to cover the latest topics in the NBA. But before we go, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that if James Harden ended up staying with OKC, they would have won at least 2 chips like he said? And do you think that the Golden State Warriors end up winning as much as they do if this unit stays together? I want to know what you guys think. Sign off below in the comments. Anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, turn on post notifications. We'll be back next week with more news, and I'm out.